Hello and welcome to all present here. On behalf of the Computer Society of India VIT student chapter, we welcome you to our keynote session with Motorq. Today we'll be exploring their journey as a budding startup in vehicle analytics. I, Bhavya Sarna,
and I, Amisha Girish,
will be your host for the day as you venture through the world of vehicle data and learn how Motorq helps process the data to run safer and more sustainable, high-performing operations.
Before we get the workshop underway, we would like to thank the Vellore Institute of Technology Management for their support and encouragement in organizing the hidden workshop.
We extend our gratitude to Dr. C.D. Naiju, Director of Student Welfare, and all the other student welfare directors.
We also thank our faculty coordinators of the Computer Society of India Student Chapter, Professor Senthil Kumar K.S. Sir and Professor Govinda K. Sir. The Computer Society of India VIT is a non-profit student organization which brings together some of the best designers, developers, and tech enthusiasts who collaborate and organize various events, workshops, and hackathons every year with the motivation of pushing technology forward and fostering a community of tech enthusiasts.
Now allow us to acquaint you with our speakers from Motorq. We have Arun Pankaj Jakshan, Technical Lead, Bala Yaswant B, Data Scientist, and Samriddhi Singh, a Software Engineer. For all VIT alumni, they'll be introducing you to the story of how Motorq was built and how it continues to thrive as a budding startup in the vehicle analytics space. Perhaps their story could inspire you to set foot in the industry and build in your own space.
Now handing it over to our speakers for today.
Okay, so hey everyone, thank you so much for the warm introduction. And quite honestly, it feels great to be back at VIT. This time we are sitting on the other side of the crowd. But yeah, again, thank you to CSI for inviting us. And I hope you all enjoy the session. So let me first start by sharing my screen. Yeah. Also, I will not be able to share my video while sharing my screen because of the bandwidth issue. So I hope that is fine. And okay, so my screen is visible, right? Okay, great. So yeah, so before I start with, like we've already been introduced. So hi, everyone. So we have Arun, Yashwant, and Samriddhi, and we are all from VIT. So VIT stays very close to our heart, and this is one of the reasons we want to have more and more VIT representations at Motorq. So looking forward to that as well. But getting back to the agenda of the session today. So
Somebody, sorry to interrupt. Screen is not visible yet.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Okay, let me share it again. So maybe the other person have to stop sharing their screen for me to share it. Okay, yeah, let me try it. Okay. Yeah, is my screen visible now?
Yep.
Okay, great. So yeah, getting back to the agenda of the session today, let me talk of a common struggle that I feel many amongst us will relate to. And so what happens oftentimes in an attempt to realize their dreams of getting software engineering job offers, many students dedicate a lot of their time in interview preparations, and they're clueless about what exactly follows when they actually make it through. So, and many of us don't even understand what should be the ultimate goal, and they end up wasting a lot of their time in college. So from the limited experience I've had and the not so limited experience and stories I've heard from a few of my friends and seniors, I wanted to help you all in realizing what should be the ultimate goal. And the answer is very simple. It lies in being a better software engineer. So basically, the answer and finding the right environment that can help you all in the journey of bringing out the best version in yourself, right? So these are some of the qualities that I feel are really important for a good software engineer. So let's try to discuss about some technical skills that I think you all should focus on right from the very beginning of our college. So the first point is strengthening our CS core fundamentals. So we all know in VIT we have a lot of course and curriculums, but focusing on these core fundamentals like DBMS, OS networks, I would suggest you all to go beyond the faculty's PPTs and understand the concepts properly. This will go a long way ahead in the IT industry. Then the second point is start coding every day. So basically, I'm sure 80% of you all practice on multiple coding platforms. But one thing that we don't take into account is writing clean and maintainable code. So this will help you in shipping production ready code and even in the future. So this is very important. And I think if we start practicing writing readable and structured code right from the college, this will be very helpful. Then the third point is taking our J components seriously. So by taking our J components seriously, you guys won't have to spend extra time beyond your coursework. And this will make sure that at the end of every semester, you'll have one project that you have knowledge on, and you don't have to spend extra time at the end of placement preparation for creating your own projects. So yeah, but enough of the technical skills. What gets you actually going in a company is the right attitude. And some of these things I had to learn the hard way. So I would mark these very important, and I would like you guys to learn from my experiences. So the first thing is not to be scared to fail. So embrace failures and take risks. So this will give you a lot of confidence to try new things in the future. Then the second thing is communication. And I think this is the key to any job. What we say is a good engineer is able to build a solution, but a better engineer is able to communicate their solutions as well. So talk to as many people as possible and build your own network. This will go a long way. And the next point is recognizing opportunities for improvements and impact. So a good software engineers are people who are willing to learn, who keep looking at improving the systems and try to bring positive disruptions in every aspect possible. So if you think about it, all these qualities align well with the definition of a startup. So what exactly is a startup? Startup is nothing but when good software engineers come together and they try to observe the efficiency of existing products, and with their innovative solution try to solve these problems. So yeah, I think people with problem solving mindset and who are willing to grow, a startup will help them, is the right environment for them to grow well. So we are all aware of great startups that exist in our societies, that has changed a lot in the existing system. So we have seen Ola and Uber that has transitioned the whole taxi services. We have seen Big Basket, Grofers transitioning the grocery services. And I don't think I have to speak about any of the media like Facebook, WhatsApp. They have changed the whole world. So yeah, I think these are the startups cannot be unseen by us because they have the power to make great changes in our society. So similar to this, Motorq has become the leader in connected car data platform. And I think Yashwant would like to speak more about it. So I'll hand it over to Yashwant.
Hey guys. Hey Sam, thanks for the good intro. So actually it is nice. So let me give a quick intro about myself. So I'm Yashwant. So I'm a data scientist here at Moterq for last nearly 3 years. So before jumping into further, let me give a quick overview of what we do at Moterq in general and some of the use cases that we work on our day-to-day activities. So we are a connected car, a data analytics platform. So many of the major questions that we get is like, what is connected car data and how do we get it? from the car. So historically, the cars had a capability to generate the data like tire pressure, fuel level, locations, if it is electric vehicles, or what is the charge in the vehicle, seat belt, whether it is on and off, things like that. So we had to attach a third-party devices like a dongle to the OBD port, so which collects the data and transmit it over the cloud. So that's a costly process, and a lot of third-party vendors were involved in the picture. But now recently, the OE stepped up and they opened up the facility to get the data directly from the vehicle and transmit it over the cloud. So we have integrations with many major OEs in US, and we have integrations with third-party devices that, like I said, historical ones. So we collect data from all these partners and we aggregate it, and then we help our clients to use the data efficiently and use the data more efficiently and build analytical products on top of this data, and we help our clients. So Sam, can we go to the next one? So this is the overall picture of what we do. So this picture will give us a more detailed oriented. So like in the left, if you see, we get data from the embedded OEMs that car itself generate the data and transmit it over to the cloud that Motorq receives, and third-party devices. And we also facilitate services to include the data from other sources as well. So Motorq, what it does means we aggregate the data, we remove noise, we build analytical products on top of this. And then we give a single source of API or a data lake or a portal kind of endpoints to the clients to use it more efficiently. So this data can be, currently we serve most, we concentrate more into the fleet business. They own like millions of vehicles in US, and when you are owning millions of vehicles and subleasing it or using it for your own purpose, you need help of data. Okay. So a couple of use cases I like to pinpoint in the next slide. Yeah. So let's take the latest ones actually here. So if you look into EV vehicles like Tesla or Ford E-Max that latest launched, so we help the fleet managers to see how much of range the vehicle is given, what is the battery level of the vehicle. So is the battery vehicle is low and they are crossing a charging station, we give an alert. We give them insights like what is the efficiency of their car, means like per dollar how much of miles they can cover metrics wise. So and we help them to solve this, and we help to identify the degradation in the battery over time. All these things, it's cool to play around the data, and I would say that we are one of the world's first teams to dig deeper into this EV vehicle data outside of the OEs. So being in a startup, that especially in Motorq, right? So gives us this cool things which I can clearly say, hey, we are one of the first persons in the world to look into these data sets in a larger scale across a bigger geospatial. Okay. So this is with EV and trip analysis. Like if you start leaving SJT and you end your vehicle in maybe main building, so Motorq will tell more details about the trip. So what is the speed that you traveled and which path you took, and did you do any hard braking or hard acceleration? That means did you race any one of your friends near maybe a food court or near the tank, especially maybe. So we will send out to your manager saying, hey, Yashwant speeded near TT, can you go check what's happened there? So these are kind of trip analysis that we give to the managers about their drivers. And things like if there is any collision or accidents happen, we do also generate the data and send it to the officials. Okay. So next slide. Yeah, sure. So Aaron, so what do you think about insurance driver safety? I think it's one of your favorite products. Care to put up some words there?
Thanks for the previous covering the previous slide session and something. So yeah, I'll just jump into maybe one sector here. So we are exposing car data, we get data, we talk to multiple OEMs, we expose car data, but what can be done with it? So not just exposing is not useful, right? So we covered maybe one or two use cases. One I like very much is the insurance use cases. So assume you are a insurance company, right? So you get your profits. You're a vehicle insurance company. Let's look at vehicle insurance alone. You get your profits from drivers who don't get into accidents. So and drivers who get into accidents, you'll have to pay more to them, right? So you'll have to pay. You have to cover the accidents. Probably you'll have to cover third-party claims and all. So how can car data help here? So we have internal data of a car which says, this car is doing hard braking, hard accelerations, which means they are driving rashly, right? So on top of all the data we get, we can build a model which says, probably this particular driver will has a more probability of getting into accidents. We can't say for sure, but we can say, probabilistically, this driver can get into an accident. So the other way around is we can say this particular driver is a safe driver, and we can probably, the insurance company can use this data and probably say, I'll give you some discounts, right? That is free money for them. So a driver who does not get into accidents is free money for them. They'll keep paying the insurance premium every year. So this is just one sectoral example, right, where car data can be used in the insurance industry. And we've covered only 4 or 5 use cases here, but there are tons and tons of use cases that can be built on top of car data, right? Initially, what we are doing is we are exposing raw data, we are cleaning the data, we are exposing data, and we let our end users, right, our businesses build a lot of use cases on top of this. Any other use case we'd like to cover? Somebody, Ashwin?
Maybe we can speak about quickly on the fuel exceptions that we.
Sure.
So there is one more use case which is not in the picture I'd like to talk about is when you're managing tons of drivers and vehicles in your fleet, right? So there are like a couple of big costs involved. One is maintaining the fleet, one is purchasing, and one more important thing is fueling cost. So so mostly if there is like end drivers, say millions of drivers or thousands of drivers, there is a possibility of people misusing the fueling. So they fuel for 10 liters and they will claim the bill for 15 liters or something like that. So with connected car data, right? So you get a near real-time data of fuel level from the vehicle. So whenever there is a reimbursement happen from the office or a fleet perspective, a driver comes and claims for a reimbursement, so the fleet manager can easily look into the portal and say, hey, whether it is refueled or not, etc. So this is one quick use case I can think about, and a couple of others is like, pre-delivery tracking. So if you see, it's funny actually. So even if you buy if you buy a Parker pen or a 10 rupees biscuit in online today, so the initial startups that we discussed like Growfest, Big Basket, Flipkart, Amazon, we have an ability to track it from the end to end. How many days it will take to reach you, and where is it, where the parcel is actually, and who will be delivered, etc., etc. But if you see in car industry or vehicle industry, this feature was not available till now. So we are striving to build that for many of our clients, which is one of our successful products, I would say. So where once the vehicle leaves the factory, and we can track it using this connected car data. So sure. So these are some of the things that we can, some of the products that we can build on the raw data that we get from the vehicles. So the scope is endless, and we have time, we have resources, we have very talented people with us. So we are building n number of products. So we also expect some of you guys will also join our team. Let's see. Hope for the best.
Yeah. So we'll now discuss how Motorq is different from other big companies and other startups. So as we've already discussed, Motorq is a connected car data platform. We started in maybe 4.5, 5 years ago. So I joined the team almost fresh out of college. I was the second engineer to join the team. So now we are a team of maybe 25 engineers totally. Globally, we should be around 50, 60 people. So we've grown a lot from when I joined. So even now, I'd say this is a very early stage company, and we are still disrupting this connected car industry. So we both Ashwant and Samriddhi have discussed some use cases, right? So we are one of the only companies in the market, or one of the few companies in the market to do this. So by joining Motorq at this time, so you'll be at the right place at the right time. So I personally, so opportunity to lead and learn. So I joined as an engineer now in 3.5 4 years. I'm a lead now, so I lead multiple internal teams at Motorq. So I've worked pretty much on almost all the technical stack, right? So I built this. I, along with the other engineers, have built this from scratch. I've worked on almost everything, maybe except security. I've worked on everything else. So I lead multiple teams now. So there's a good opportunity for you guys to come in and lead as well. So you will also learn a lot because we are still in the early stage, even though we are 4.5 or 5 years old. We are still in the early stage, and the next 3 or 4 years we are expecting the growth to be close to 10x, right? So if you are trying to grow at 10x pace, so whatever we have built right now, I'm pretty sure that it won't work at 10x pace, right? So 10x the scale. So we'll change a lot of components. You'll have a front seat at the architectural changes we do. You'll be part of the changes. You'll be part of discussion. So technically, there's a lot happening. Compensation. So this is one thing. Yeah. So I'm very happy about. So we've been hiring from VIT for the past 4 years. I was the first batch, and then there was Ashwant, and in between there was a batch, and then there's somebody joined us. So we have 4 more interns joining us. So there'll be, by this summer we'll have 7 alumni here at Motorq. So we have one of the best compensation in India for a software engineer. You can see our stipends here for internship. It's 1.6 lakh per month for an SDE role. For an application engineer, it's 1.2 lakhs per month. And the full time, if you get converted, the full time CTC is 1 crore plus. So this is in INR. This is not in dollar converted salary. So 27 lakh base. There's only a handful of companies which give that in India today. And you also get a very, very good equity. So that together forms the base, and we expect this component to grow 3x 4x in the next 1 or 2 years, right? This is just the initial number, and once you come in and you perform, and this will just keep growing. So for me personally, my equities has grown at least maybe 8 to 10x in the past 3 to 4 years. So compensation wise, growth wise, there's a lot of growth ahead as well. So yeah, on the culture here, we are a flat hierarchy. So I can ping anyone on the team, any CXOs, right? CEO, CTO, COO, CFOs. I can ping anyone with my suggestions. If things are not working well, I can ping. I can get a one-on-one time with any of the higher ups. So the hierarchy is pretty flat here. Recognition. So if you're part of a very big team, right? So you will be one among maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 people, right? So here it's a very small team. We know each other. We know what people are doing. You'll get immediate recognition. So Samriddhi, who's joined maybe 1.5 years ago, so maybe she's already leading 1 or 2 products. So she's the go-to person for 1 or 2 products there, right? Ashwant, who joined as a data scientist maybe 2.5 3 years ago, so he leads the data team here. So there's instant recognition. There's tons of opportunity to learn and tons of opportunity to lead, and comp wise, that is also industry leading. So so why we have put this here is at the end of this hackathon, if you like a few projects, you'll get a chance to interview with us. So either we'll interview directly, or when we visit VIT the next year, so you can skip the online round and you can interview with us. So yeah, that's why we have all this. How is Motorq different? And we talked about compensation stuff. Are we taking questions? Do you have anything else to cover? Somebody you're on mute.
Yeah, so nothing else, but yeah, we wanted, if there are any questions we can answer. So
okay, thank you so much for conducting the session. We'll just take a look at the live chat and let you know about any questions that the participants have asked.
Okay, sure.
So someone has asked about the data science and analytics roles offered by Motorq, if any, instead of the software development roles.
Yeah. So I know these slides are purely concentrated on a dev perspective because this is like a development hackathon. So yeah, we do hire and we do look for interns in data analytics. Anyone interested, you can just send your resume with us. And if some of you guys are interested to start and wanted to prepare, two things I would like to stress on more. So be strong in basics, stats, probability. Some people directly jump into ML and deep learn. Sure, it's all those are very good stuff, but you need to have a strong basics to build all those stacks on top of it. Next is be crisp, clear about communication and whatever projects you do, right? Be clear about it, and when we speak with you, maybe in future, if possible, be clear to explain those things. And yes, coming to the question, we do hire people in data analytics, data analyst role.
All right, thank you. And another question that we have is, so who do you think is your greatest competitor in this field?
Arun, do you want to answer? I think it's an obvious answer.
Yeah, so this is a relatively new field, and I believe we've got a head start with the OEM contracts we've built. So we are I think the only company in the market to have maybe 9 out of the 10 OEMs, right? Biggest OEMs, we have the contract. So we have a good head start. I do believe we have competitors. So we do have a UK-based company called Vejo doing maybe similar things. We do a couple other companies which have gone to IPOs and done things, but they're not doing the same thing as us. They are in the connected car space. I might have to dive into a little more details. For the sake of time, I'm saying maybe we have 3 or 4 competitors here and there, but with the number of contracts we have and the kind of work we do, I'd say very less competitors.
There is one other question. Somebody has asked if you could explain what the role of an application engineer is.
Okay. So application engineer will focus on, we expose data in different ways, right? So for our clients to consume data, we expose data in different ways. So one is via all these streaming systems like Kafka and event hubs and all those things. So there's another way where we share data lakes and our consumers can consume data from there. So one other way is there are a lot of customers of us who don't have the luxury of owning software teams. So they are a fleet management company, or they are a company in the car who have a lot of cars, right? But they don't have the luxury of building software teams. So what we do is we collect all our analytics and output we have generated, and we show it in an application. So currently it's a web-based application. So that is where an application engineer will come in. So they'll help us in building web-based applications. So currently the focus is on web. In the future, it might go to mobile and other forms.
All right, there is another question. How would you suggest someone to start connecting with people to try for internships?
Direct connections, I don't think that'll work. So based on this, at least for this hackathon, right? Hackathon, we'll judge the results, we'll judge the projects and see whatever we like. We'll reach out to them, or we'll reach out to them via the coordinators and via CSI and see what works. If we are not directly reaching out, we'll at least give you a chance when we visit VIT campus interviews. We'll give you a chance. You can skip the online round and come and meet us directly. Okay, maybe on going back. So I said direct connections, right? So you can write to us on LinkedIn, but for this hackathon, I'd prefer if you guys, guys and girls, if you can win the hackathon or build a good project and then go through take that route.
Okay, I think that brings an end to all of the questions.
Well, I hope all of the doubts of the participants are clarified now. And if there's any more, we'll be taking those through our social media handles. They'll be linked down below in the description. And whatever you've learned today, whatever inspiration you've drawn from Motorq story, you can use that to drive your innovations at DevSpace 2022, CSI's annual developers conference. Our diamond sponsor, Motorq, stands for diversity and inclusion. They'll be supporting our women developers by sponsoring a track dedicated to women.
Registration for DevSpace are now open, so head on over to devspace.csivit.com and register for more workshops, keynotes, and the hackathon.
Thank you so much, Arun, Yashwant, and Samriddhi for your time, effort, and zeal towards inspiring our participants. We hope to see you and your innovations at DevSpace from the 14th to 16th of April, 2022.
Make sure to follow us at CSI-VITU on Instagram and Twitter to stay updated with the other exciting events that we will be bringing your way. We would like to thank you all for your exuberant participation, and we hope you had a fun and memorable learning experience at our event tonight.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys. All the best.